Good morning, Scorpios. So I got three songs for you that were all channeled songs. The first one was Only You. Only You can make this world seem right. The next one was Love Letters Straight from Your Heart. I got four songs. Me not reading my own notes properly. The next one was We Dream the Same Dream, We Want the Same Things. And the fourth one was I'm Yours. I cannot wait. I'm yours. So I'll put all of those in the description box below and you can go and look them up. I need to double check who sang them all as well. I've not done that with my notes today. But yeah, they'll all be in the description box. You can go and look those up. And they may contain extra messages for you. But there's definitely, they're all kind of love songs. And I'm going to sneeze. Sneeze before I warned you. Now, as I was shuffling, that's all the channel stuff, but as I was shuffling the Kim Kranz deck over here this morning, I was sort of thinking about Scorpio's last reading and about how it was like somebody had lost some jewellery, and then I got quite a few. I got probably about that many cards out, and it told me a little bit of a story. So if you have lost some jewellery, and I haven't got my jewellery on, and since I'm talking about it, here we go. I'm gonna grab my my mum's wedding and engagement ring. There we go, because the jewellery, it was telling me there was cards like vow. So I feel like if you've lost a piece of jewellery that might be something to do with like a wedding or an engagement ring or some kind of promise or vow being made. What it was telling me, some of the places where you might want to look, where you might find it, I had the village card. So it's like if you've gone into town, if you've gone shopping, if you've gone into a village, you may have lost it there. It also showed me like a crack, so you may want to check down cracks to see if it's fallen down a crack. It could be like a crack in the pavement, but also the village card, I thought it was village card, I don't know, one of the cards kind of looked like a stone was in loads of grass and there was like a worm there and stuff like that, so it was very earthy. So you may have dropped it in like a grassy place, you may find it in grass. And they had like things like the mirror card. So what I was getting from that was, if you're looking for it, use the reflectiveness of the metal, the reflectiveness of the gems to look for it. So maybe like they're sort of showing me, they're showing me like walking through a field at night with a torch. Sorry, banging the grass. The grass. I said grass. Okay, looking grass. So I was banging the tripod again there. But yeah, so shining a torch in the grass, and because it's metal and gem, it'll reflect the light back at you, it'll glimmer to you, so that might help you find it if you've lost it in an outside place. Or maybe you've visited someone who lives in a village, it might be in their garden, or it's fallen down a crack. So I do hope if that's you and you've lost some jewellery that you'll find it, because that's been a bit of an ongoing thing, hasn't it? So yeah, right. I think that was the shortest introduction I've done for a while, so I'm just going to take a few deep breaths, channel into the right energies, and then we're going to get on with your reading. Okay, let's go. So let's go to this one first, see what they want to tell you. So what would you like to tell Scorpio, please? The mountain again and the vessel. Right, okay. The nectar, the mountain and the vessel. Now this mountain is a key theme, part of a key theme. Okay, they're wanting me to tell you, I do have very, very veiny hands, very pronounced veins, but they are particularly gross and witchy, my hands today, because it's so hot. It's really, really high humidity. So yeah, I'm very, very hot, so it means that my veins are sort of like super gross. So apologies for that. But they're also telling me it may be something significant for you. It may be something to do with your blood count or blood tests. I don't know. They're drawing my attention to veins. So sorry to interrupt what I was going to say there, but I meant to say it at the start of the reading and I forgot, so it reminded me. So yeah, this is a key theme of the week. This is the overarching theme for this week. They were sort of bringing it to me on Sunday when I don't do any readings, but it's something to do with ancestry, connecting to the earth, respecting. Particularly like this idea of trees, because they're very grounded, they've been there for a very long time, and they have seen a lot of things. If you think of them as like a personified entity, they've been around for a long time. They're very wise, they've got a lot of wisdom because of their age, and it's not necessarily the age of the person but the age of the soul. You can meet a child who seems to be very spiritual, for example, or you can meet an older person who's an absolute child, like really immature. So it's not about the age of the person but the age of the soul. So it's connecting with people who have I've got a lot of pressure around my head at the moment. It's sort of like someone going like this around my forehead. So I'm not quite sure what that's about. Possibly something to do with, because I'm talking about this knowledge. So yeah, it's seeking out people who have this kind of ancestral knowledge, knowledge of the ancestors, knowledge of the ages, deep roots that have drawn from the earth's resources. And I'm not like, I don't want to go into that too much, but if you want the full breakdown, go and watch Libra's reading yesterday. I meant to do it bit by bit. I was going to talk to you about, because you're the water sign, I was going to talk to you about this idea of the river Leith in the underworld, right? In classical culture, is it's a river of forgetfulness, and when people pass on to, and they go to the underworld, the spirit goes to the underworld in classical culture. They go through the river Leith, and it cleanses all their memories. So it can be good memories, but it also takes away all the burdens, all the kind of things that were painful in their life, all the things that they were worried about, all the things that hurt them. They're completely cleansed of this by passing through this river, and they go on to be birthed again, sort of like this vessel here, like birthed again, to completely fresh and pure and innocent and unburdened. So the message kind of that was coming through was this idea of if water can take away memories, water can also give memories. So water contains, as the trees have this ancestral knowledge, they have really deep roots that draw water from the earth. So there's this idea of like the water cycle as well, and like the water moving around the planet. So it's like memories, water and memories moving around the planet. So water may be, because you're a water sign, you may find that water is about 10 words tried to come out at once there. Water is a particularly strong resource for you if you're trying to connect to your spiritual side, or if you're trying to do any kind of like a spiritual work. So it could be like meditation, or I don't know, whatever it is for you. You make sure you're drinking enough water. Make sure you have water around you as you're doing this. If you're meditating, have like try and sit near running water, like a stream, or have one of those fountains. Running water is going to help you to tune into your intuition. Intuition as well came through quite strongly for you. I was lighting a lavender joss stick for you today. It comes in a purple packaging. Lavender is purple. It's to do with peace and tranquility. And as I was lighting it, I was thinking that your message today may be something to do with being quite spiritual. Yeah, you can see all the purple as well. I didn't notice this when I've talked about this in other readings. There's a lot of purple around this mountain. So something to do with connecting to ancestors, something to do with water being of use to you, higher spiritual knowledge. Like people who go to the mountains to I'm thinking of that. There's a film with Brad Pitt where he like goes off. Is it So Many Years in Tibet or something like that? But it's like people, and Batman as well. He does it in Batman. But like you go off to the mountains, to the wilderness, to connect with your spiritual side, to spend some alone time, and process things, to just really have that time to think, and to ascend spiritually. So this is your message today with this mountain card. It's also about getting a higher perspective, right? Meditating, getting a higher perspective. And it doesn't have to be like formal meditating for you. You know, if you want to incorporate into your daily life, it might be like, do you do a lot of thinking when you're having a shower? Is that where I just saw, like, it was like exactly 10 minutes on the clock then. Do you, do you have a shower and find that you get really great ideas and you come out the shower and you're like, oh no, I know how to solve that problem now? Or perhaps you really enjoy having long baths and, lighting candles and just really chilling out and listening to some music in the bath, and that's really peaceful for you. So whatever that is for you, do use water to heal, to soothe, to process, to think. So the nectar. Let's have a look. The nectar and the vessel. Wine glass. They're telling me wine glass. It's going to be a side message for some of you. I don't know. They're not giving me anything else on that, but they're saying like nectar could be wine, the vessel could be the glass, wine glass. The vessel, this card, the meaning of it is kind of like the container, the thing that holds something within it. You can see there is a body on this card. So this could be something sexual for some of you, nectar and the vessel. There could be a sexual connotation for some of you. The nectar and the vessel. The nectar, the mountain and the vessel. Perhaps some of you drink wine from mountainous regions. But I think what I'm mainly getting is this, some kind of like healing, some kind of spiritual healing, healing the body, healing the mind. I don't know, I may get more through on that. I'm not quite getting the message that they're trying to give me just yet. Actually, do you know what? I'm just going to pause and I'm going to read through the book myself. I don't want the reading to be too long. It's 11:55 on the clock. I'm just seeing the pattern numbers again. I've seen them a lot this week. I'm going to pause. I'm going to read each of the descriptions of these and I'm just going to see if I get anything else. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so starting to get something. There's definitely a message about healing, strong message about healing the body, healing the mind here. And something to do with spirituality. If some of you may, I don't want to promote one type of medicine over another. I think both are important, both modern medicine and kind of traditional medicine, okay? Sort of herbalism type medicine. So I strongly advise on choosing what's right for you, what works for you, trying lots of different things if needs be, and make the right choice for you. But I think there is advice here. There's definitely advice that you may need some sort of medicine. It may be medicine for the body, it may be medicine for the soul, medicine for the mind, I don't know. Something to do with medicine and healing, very, very strongly, mainly for the body, I think. You may want to try, if one type of medicine isn't working for you, if you've given it a fair shot, right? I mean, like, say, a lot of medicines, they take a number of weeks to work. So if you've given a medicine a really fair shot and it's just not working for you, you may want to look into other sources. Just go and Google it, see if there's other sources of medicine that could work for you. You may need an alternate route. You may need two. I'm noticing, can you see on this nectar card behind the rose, it's kind of like black and white, so it's like this or that, but the rose is using both to grow. So excuse me, I had a really big breakfast today. I had a halloumi bagel with spinach. Oh my god, I forgot. Because I made that halloumi burger with the spinach, I was getting these kind of messages about eating healthily and taking care of your body. So funny that I forgot that, and I thought, oh, I should probably mention that in Scorpio's reading, and then I forgot about it, but the cards came through. It's like, yeah, you probably need to watch what you're eating, watch what you're putting into your body, make sure that it's healthy for you, that it's benefiting you. Okay, I'm going to move on for that because that I feel like that did take a few minutes there. So I'm going to start your full traditional reading now. So I'm going to go heart space, head space, action space, past, present and future. Okay, so let's find out what's going on for you and see if we can help you. Okay, this card drops, and we're going to have a quick look at this. Six of Wands, some kind of success. Some kind of success or recognition is an underlying theme, I think, here for you. Right, okay. I've just mixed that in. You didn't really see me doing it, but I just kind of like mixed my cards up a little bit, like this sort of thing, to mix that card back in. So let's see. Oops, something tried to come out and went back in. Can I get a card for the past heart space, please, for Scorpio? Let's get the best possible reading that's going to do the most good, please, for the most amount of people. Four of Swords and Nine of Wands. Okay, so there may have been some kind of painful situation in the past. Something that... Okay, what I'm guessing is that there was some kind of situation in your past, something that felt like it was taking a long time to resolve with this clock here, but it caused you to feel, it really, really drained you. I think both of these cards kind of talk about feeling very, very drained, okay, sort of persevering through something that's really draining you. It's draining you physically, and it's draining you, well, it's causing you quite a lot of anxiety and mental overwhelm, okay? So something that's been on your mind a lot, and it's like physically kind of exhausting you. It's been a long, long, long journey with this clock and the Nine of Wands. Both tell me long journey. So in your heart space, it's like either... It could be different for different people, because this one talks about possibly... Swords in your heart space can mean that your mental process is kind of closing down your heart. You can see that she's kind of in the fetal position there. She's naked, she's vulnerable, she's wrapping herself, arms around herself. All these cobwebs as well. It's like, really is like something that's been hanging around for a long time. But yeah, so this is talking about closing down your heart space. Like, you can't feel because you've got too many thoughts. But on the other hand, you've got the Nine of Wands, which is Wands are very, very passionate, fiery energy. So you may have found you've been in one or the other, or that you've been flitting between the two, getting really, really drained and then really fired up. You know, she's a bit of a warrior, this card. It's the wounded warrior card. That's what people refer to it as. Yeah, somebody who's been on a long journey, the battered and the bruised, but they're going to keep on fighting. But yeah, definitely it's draining you, it's taking you out of you, and needing to go kind of back into this space to kind of heal and to process. So that was going on in your past heart space. And look how I've positioned it under that nectar card. So some of you may have been drinking too much. They were talking about that wine glass. Some of you may have been drinking too much to kind of deal with this. You know, when we are facing a period of our life that's been quite trialing, quite feels like a heavy burden, and we need to relax, we do tend to fall back on things that perhaps we shouldn't, whether that be kind of like eating unhealthy foods, eating comfort foods, alcohol, smoking, other forms of things that give our mind relief, right, allow us to relax. Whatever that was for you, I do feel like your body's kind of quite coming to a point now where it's kind of they're giving me depletion, the word depletion, okay, giving me getting to a point where perhaps certain resources within your body are depleted, because this mountain card does give me this kind of sort of underlying subcontext of kind of the minerals of the earth, the nutrients of the earth. So I do feel like this is really strongly encouraging you to eat very healthily, make sure you're getting all the right kind of vitamins and minerals that you need. You know, try and not necessarily cut out, but try and reduce the amount of toxins that you're putting into your body. I think your body really needs some TLC right now. I got that body there on the vessel card, because of that process that you've been through. Okay, can I get a current... Oh, that's quite a lot going on in your current heart space. So we've got something, 2 cards hiding there, 3 cards hiding there. And which way around does she want to go, please? Yeah, I thought so. I'm going to take them all. So this is going to be a bit of a story time. There's quite a lot going on in your heart space now. You may be dealing with multiple scenarios that you're really feeling quite emotional about, or there may just be kind of one big complex thing that you're processing right now. You've got two aces next to each other here. You've got an ace of swords and an ace of wands. So the ace of swords talks about it can be news coming in, something being communicated to you. It can sometimes feel a little bit like a shock, right? Because swords are quite cutting, quite sharp. So it's like something clear, something perhaps unexpected with it being like the Ace of Swords. Yeah, you've got lots of cards about communication. The pages of wands as well is a card about something being communicated. And with the Ace of Wands as well, it's like something new, something coming in very passionately, could be getting you fired up. Someone else could be fired up about some kind of, it's like new, yeah, it's a communication about something new, new information about something that makes you feel passionate, or that somebody else is passionate about. I also noticed the lock on this heart space as well. So this news could be unlocking something, unlocking an emotional part of yourself that you'd kept locked away and hidden. Yeah, I'll go back onto that. No, I'm going to go straight onto it. I may forget the other thing I wanted to say, but this is sat with this lock on the heart space. It's sat with the Four of Pentacles. Now the Four of Pentacles is about blocking. It's sort of, I call it the shield card, right? So it's a card about blocking, or protecting, or clinging onto something. It's very emotional. You can see the water pouring in here. So it's like you've been very guarded about something. I feel like you've guarded your heart space. You've guarded your emotions. It's very much like Cancerian energy, which is another water sign. And we've got that moon here. Yeah, that's very, very watery. It's very, very much water sign energy. So this is like they're telling me a little birdhouse in your soul. So it's almost like closing down your emotions, closing down your feelings, protecting yourself. And it may not be all your feelings. I'm getting more that this is a certain part of yourself. So I'm noticing here she's got this kind of skull. This always gives me Hamlet and Yorick. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. Yorick was... I'll move on to that in a second. Sorry, I'm getting too much information and I'm not finishing what I wanted to say. So yeah, what this is giving me is that there's an aspect of your emotions or your heart space or your feelings that has been shut down by some kind of event in the past. Something that hurt you in the past has closed off a little piece of your heart. I'm getting that like Follow Me Into the Dark, Take a Piece of My Heart again. I'm going to have to rewatch this for all the songs. That's GALXARA, Sway With Me. Sway, I'm just writing it down. Sway With Me. GALXARA. And Saweetie. I can't remember what the other song was that came through. I'll have to rewatch it. Birdhouse in My Soul. Birdhouse in Soul. Okay. So, yeah. So you'd closed down this part of yourself, and it's almost like you went within, or it's in there, and you can go in and you can kind of look at it, but it's like you're viewing it in kind of third person. And it's so funny because I was getting third person stuff, almost like out of body stuff. Not that I was having an out of body experience, but that I was getting images where I was kind of looking at myself, sat on the bed looking at myself doing tarot card readings. So it wasn't an actual out of body experience. I was in my own body, but I was just seeing this image of like watching myself doing something. I got it a few times. So this is almost like perhaps when this happened, you kind of had this kind of very detached feeling where it felt like you were watching your life through a window. You weren't actually emotionally part of it. You'd emotionally separated yourself from some sort of situation. I feel like this is in the past though, right? This could be like childhood. It could be like years ago, but you kind of had this kind of very detached to protect yourself, right? It wasn't that you were cold or unfeeling. It's that you felt, I'm going to cry. I'm really going to cry. It's that you felt too much. You felt too much about the situation. It was so painful for you that you wouldn't have been able to survive that pain if you hadn't. It's like your body went into survival mode. It shut down your emotions. It detached you from the situation so that you could watch it objectively. You could watch it play out objectively. And you felt like you weren't even... it felt like you were living in a dream. It felt like you weren't even part of reality. You were just sort of like being swept down this river. Everybody else was doing things around you, and you were just sort of going through the processes, very, very detached. Yeah. Yeah, really locking away your emotions there. But I feel like either, yeah, look as well, this card here, she's like, she's there, but she's not there. You know, she's got this like see-through body. She's there, but yeah, she's there, but she's not there. God, my heart just really tugged then, really, really tugged. So, moving on to what I wanted to say about this. So this is like, I feel like someone may have passed away for you, because this does give me Yorick. Now the Two of Wands card, the Two of Wands on its own as a card in the tarot does not give me this. It's the specific image of this specific card that gives me this. So it's the scene in Hamlet, and he learns about, he comes across this skull and he recognises the skull. It's like must have a particular shape to the head or something, right? But he knows that it's Hamlet's a prince, and he recognises this as Yorick, who is kind of like the court gesture, the clown, right? But he had a really close relationship with him. He was almost like his personal entertainer, or, you know, like, yeah, a friend. And he sort of says it, you know, I used to like, I think he says things like, I used to ride around on his back, you know, I used to carry me on his shoulders, and all these things that they used to do together. And he has these really fond memories of him, and it's like, hit by this realization of like, he's suddenly hit by the realization that time isn't infinite. You know, the vessel, the body that we have here on earth, this is the message that's coming through. Here we go. So it's this realization that we only have this body once, right? We only live this specific life once. Whether, you know, whatever you believe in happens after you die. This specific, that your body and this specific vehicle that carries your soul right now, we only have it once. And of all the things that happen to us, all the things that distract us, all the things that cause us pain and cause us to take in toxins to our body, right? These don't matter. All that matters is the time you spend on earth and the respect you have for the vehicle that carries your soul. So it's really about, I think some of you may have been hit by this concept of mortality, right? Where you're like, no, I need to look after my body now. I need to watch what I eat. I need to heal. I can't put myself into situations anymore that deplete me, that make me feel mentally and physically exhausted, because I don't have that much time on earth. I don't want my time on earth feeling like this. I want my time on earth to be happy and healthy and enjoying life, okay? And so this realization in your heart space, I told you there was a lot going on in your heart space right now. Two of Wands making a decision to look after yourself. And this turns you, oh my God, goosebumps. I just right up my body, from like, oh, my thighs, like all the way up to my body. I got goosebumps. This is you now, right? Or this is what you're ready for. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is the queen in the tarot who absolutely respects her body and takes really good care of herself. She's she really takes care of her appearance. She takes care of her physical self, and she's gorgeous. Look at her. And don't you think it's almost like an angel, like revealed, or she's just stepping into her power? It's almost like a phoenix, right? She does actually remind me of the X-Men. She's called Phoenix, right? The Jane Grey, doesn't she turn into the Phoenix? So yeah, it's really like this, suddenly finding this power within yourself, suddenly finding this respect for your body in so many terms, right? It could be like, for some of you, this is almost like a sexual revolution, where you're just rediscovering your body and like looking at your body in a new way and really respecting all the things that your body can do, all the physical things that your body can do, all the, like, maybe some of you are starting to exercise again, and you're surprised by how quickly you build up your strength. I mean, look at her arms. Yeah, so it's like it's amazing. So you may be just figuring this out now. You may not be Queen of Wands yet, or you may have gone through that process and be emerging and finding all these benefits of like, oh my God, I didn't realize that if I just cut out alcohol and if I just stopped smoking, and ate a little bit better and did a little bit of exercise every day, that in 5 weeks I would be feeling this good, right? It's amazing. That's such a brilliant little, I almost didn't take all those cards. I almost put them back in and asked again, and I'm so glad I did, and I'm so glad I went with that, because normally I only take 1 or 2 cards for each like space. 30-20 on the clock then. So yeah, so okay. Okay. So I'm noticing immediately the similarity of colours here, and I was talking about about purples being very, very, a very relevant colour to you. I said this to someone else as well, I can't remember who it was, but you may want to invest in things that are purple. You may want to wear purple, you may want to buy some purple candles, get some lavender joss sticks. You can order them from Amazon, that's where I get mine from. I've got a new pack of 3 coming. You can get like a pack of 1, a pack of 3, a pack of like 12 or something like that. They're not too expensive. I'll show you them actually. I'll show you which brand I get, in case you did want to go and get some yourself. Because I've had a lot of joss sticks that are kind of, they don't really smell like anything, or they're not very strong, or they all smell the same, or they smell a bit like, like room air freshener, like spray air freshener, which has that chemically smell. But these ones are really, really good. I think they're like the main brand. So they're the ones that I get, and I get all different flavors. Don't lick joss sticks. Light joss sticks, lit joss sticks, but don't lick joss sticks. So yeah, but you may want to get some of those. They just smell gorgeous. Or you may want to get some purple crystals. This is amethyst. Amethyst is quite an inexpensive crystal to get, and it's a popular one, and it is to do with like spirituality, connecting with your intuition, this kind of thing. You may just want to wear purple, or if you're a painter, paint with purple colours. I don't know. Paint your wall purple. So yeah, in your future heart space, the 7 of Wands is standing up for something. I think you're standing up for yourself. It can be standing up for something or battling something, okay? The clarifier for it came out as the 8 of Wands, so this is about communication. Oh, my heart went again. So it's sort of like, I'm seeing it's kind of communicating a truth, communicating your truth. So yeah, so you may be communicating to your truth to others, or you're not communicating. It's not your action space, okay, it's your heart space. So this is what you're feeling like you want to do, or feeling called to do, feeling like you want to communicate your truth to others, feeling a little bit defensive, possibly feeling like you're going to perhaps come under attack for the things that you have to say, or for the action you want to take. Or taking action to defend yourself, taking action to fight something off. It could be a person, it could be people, that opinions that you're being defensive about. It could be you standing up for yourself against the opinions of other people, or it could just be almost like yourself standing up for yourself, blocking things that, with that nectar and the wine and things, blocking things out, resisting things that are not good for you. You're coming into a very, very powerful energy here, in your heart space. There's some aspect of yourself there that you closed yourself off from, that you've looked at in the cold light of day, and you're absolutely healing from. I've got goosebumps all up myself again, like all up my legs and my arms. It's such a powerful energy. Such a, if this is you, if you're thinking, yeah, that's me, like, don't sort of downplay that. You don't have to go shouting to everybody else, but no, I'm telling you now that's huge for you. I can see that this is huge for you. And it's like taking a lot of strength. The Queen of Wands has a lot of strength to do that, to go through that process, and to come out of it, and to have learned that lesson, and to have opened up that Pandora's box, right? to have opened up that Pandora's box inside yourself, like, oh, it's so powerful for you. That's amazing. Page of Cups. This is kind of like offer of friendship, offer of communication coming in. I'm getting it as you've got this kind of running imagery of like these skulls, emotions, skulls. This could be something to do with love or a friendship here. You know, I was talking about the Yorick card. So yeah, I'm noticing like past friendships, people who passed away possibly, and kind of the emotions of that. The ocean representing the emotions. Ocean, emotion, ocean. I'm noticing the assonance of those words. So the mermaid, right? She's been down in those emotions. She's been deep in those emotions. She's dived down. She swam in them. This is you, like, exploring those emotions, allowing yourself to feel them, allowing yourself to go with the flow. But she can come up for air now, okay? And she's looking pretty good doing it, right? And she's got purple. She's got purple hair. Maybe some of you have purple hair. Maybe you want to dye your hair purple. I don't know. Is that the World card underneath the X? Yeah, so you're opening up a new cycle in your life. A new emotional cycle, I think. Doesn't mean you're doing anything particularly differently, but the way you feel about things is different. It's like you're looking at things from a whole new perspective now, a whole new world, right? Past thoughts, blah blah. I'm going to see thoughts now. Past, present, future thoughts. Past thoughts, please, for Scorpio, my Scorpio babies. You're no longer blocking something. You've this Seven of Swords is about choices, right? Again, I think seeing this is almost like past relationships coming in for you, all the different relationships that you have in your life and all the different things that you get from different relationships. I'm particularly noticing the rainbow, which is healing, and this purple flame here today, and also this kind of green, very nutritious looking plant. So sort of, excuse me, weighing up your options in a situation, weighing up some sort of choices, or looking at relationships from the past where you're sort of like looking at what each of those relationships gave you. Now, the Two of Swords in the upright is someone who's blocking, right? It's like cross swords blocking, making a choice, not but resisting it. With it being in the reverse, I'm kind of seeing this as you making a choice. You seeing things very, very clearly, taking off the blindfold, looking at something very clearly and processing it, right? That's how I'm seeing that today. Really weighing things up, really like looking at stuff clearly. Current thoughts. Five of Pentacles. So excuse me, this is in your thoughts. So thinking about a situation from the past where there's been some sort of loss, and it's a sort of material loss, a loss of wealth, a loss of property, a loss of work, something tangible, material that has been lost. It's sort of like the half, right? The half of the Ten of Pentacles. There's a sense of like feeling like you went through a time where you were quite impoverished. You can see there's also a sense of sort of charity with this card, because it does have this kind of church imagery. So perhaps some of you have literally been going to the church for help, or going to a church group for help, or going to someone who is particularly connected to religion or spirituality to help you in a situation. I'm seeing this more as like a material loss that gives you access to a spiritual truth. So it's like one door closing, one door opening, if you see what I mean. The spiritual side, the soul, is much more important to us than things, okay? And I think perhaps you realise this, perhaps you will realise this. You may have a child, maybe some kind of financial loss in a family situation. Doesn't mean this is happening now, but this is what you're thinking about now, right? There's a definite sense of you thinking about something from the past here with that Yorick card. Okay, let's go to future thoughts. Now, just remember that the future can be changed for you. There's wriggle room with the future, because the future that it's telling me now is the future that of the path that you're currently on, right? So if you continue to follow the same path, make all the same choices you normally would, would be what your future is. But this can very, very easily change, and this can be changed based on the advice that I give you today. So I could tell you something will happen in your future. You could think, I want to avoid that, make different choices, which would mean you would avoid it, okay? I just want to make that clear, that the future, there's so many different forks in the road. This is just the current path you're on. But I see the current path you're on as being very, very strong for you, very healing. So you may want to continue with what you're doing. What you've got in your future thoughts is strength and the world. As I said, it's so interesting, this reading today. So interesting. I saw the world card up here underneath that page of cups, and I said it's like you've opened up a whole new world within yourself, a whole new perspective on things that's bringing you a huge amount of strength. The strength card is like resilience, confidence, the ability to handle whatever life is throwing at you, and the world card is about learning some kind of big lesson in your life, right? And I feel like you've definitely learned a big lesson here, and I got the goosebumps again. Learning a really big lesson, and it's looking back at the past, right? It's because you've looked back at this past situation, reassessed it, opened up that Pandora's box in your heart space, allowed yourself to feel all the feelings and heal from them. You can't heal from something if you don't process it. You can't heal from something if you keep it locked away inside. It's still going to be in there festering. So opening that box, allowing yourself to be hurt, allowing yourself to process those feelings, allowing yourself to come out of the other side, right, is giving you such a huge amount of strength. It's so cool. And this whole new cycle, this whole new fresh cycle of this new perspective, you can see she's kind of looking to the future, but these two are like processing that thing from the past. It's really, really cool. Okay. In the underlying, King of Swords, some kind of truth being spoken. You could be the King of Swords, or you could be connecting with this person. There's someone around who's very intelligent, very, very intelligent, a very good communicator, but they only communicate when they need to, right? They don't blurt out the words. They're the sort of person who comes in, they give you a pearl of wisdom, and then they go about whatever it is that they've got to do. Someone who's very clear, very clear thinker, logical, precise, very clean cut as well. They see situations very clearly, and they can cut things out, so I don't know who that is for you. Could be anyone around you, right? It could be someone you don't even realise has had such a big impact, like they've literally come in with one pearl of wisdom that's like triggered all this. Okay, so I'm going to move on to your action space now. I was with some family this weekend, and I was sort of like explaining the tarot to them, and I was saying how like I can shuffle and I can be talking and shuffling for absolutely hours, and I could just continually shuffle and nothing will come out because I'm not thinking of any questions. But as soon as I think of a question, it's like bloop and it pops out. And I'll try and do it on camera so you can see how it happens. So I'm going to move to your action space, past, present and future action space. So what kind of, see what I mean? As I barely started asking the question, did you see the way they popped out? So past action space, and again, I don't know how long ago this was. It's just in your past. It could be last week, it could be last year, it could be years ago. So there's definitely a sense of emotional overwhelm. I got that from a couple of different cards. These ones, that mermaid up there, the water represents emotions. Scorpio is a very, very emotional sign. They have a huge depth of emotions. Oh, they reminded me to talk about dreams. I can't remember why. The vision. I think this is right at the beginning of the reading when I was meditating before I started the reading. They were talking about they were pointing to a card that I'd pulled out yesterday called the vision, and they wanted me to say how Scorpios have really good intuition, that's what they were saying. Scorpios have really good intuition, and it's like you may not realize that other people don't get what you get, right? So for me, sometimes I do see images. I can see, what was I talking about before? I can't even remember. Oh, right at the beginning of the reading, like when I could see someone, it was like I was in this perspective of someone who was like shining a torch on the grass. So I could see it, I could visually see this happening. It was sort of like watching a TV scene play out, but it's inside my head. Now, some people call that daydreaming, right? Some people call that having a vivid imagination, but not everybody has such a vivid imagination. Not everybody can visualize things. There's some kind of test you can take, and it's to do with an apple. If someone says picture an apple, and then the question is like, could you see an apple, or did you see the word apple, right? Some people cannot visualize an apple at all, and then it's like, right, okay, did you see like a cartoon apple? Did you see, it's like, how much detail did it have? And then right at this top end of this scale, you might be able to visualize the apple falling from the tree. You might be able to visualize the apple in your hands, how the texture of the red, right, how rich the red is. Or green, you might have a green apple, it might have a green and red apple, right? You can see the texture of it. You can see the beads of water shining on it. You can see the leaf. You can turn the apple in your hand. You can rotate it. So there's a scale to how much people can see visually with inside the head. Now, when I was thinking this, I was thinking about my mum. My mum's a Scorpio, and she has very, very, very vivid dreams. Some people dream in colour, some people dream in black and white, some people don't dream at all. So, right, what they wanted me to communicate to you was that you, more than likely, if you have strong Scorpio in your chart, you get very, very, very vivid images, very, very vivid dreams. You might be a bit of a daydreamer, but they're telling me to take notice of them, because this is a skill that not everybody has, and I don't even know if you realise that or not. Really pay attention to your dreams, any kind of visions that you see. This is spirit trying to communicate something to you, okay? So, oh, the Queen of Cups on the bottom there as well. That's Queen of Cups. She's water signs. Can symbolize water signs, water sign energy. So yeah, the Page of Cups. This is some kind of like the Ace of Cups is some kind of new relationship offer, right? A new relationship coming in, a new relationship, or something new within a relationship, some kind of new emotional start, right? The Page of Cups, she holds the Ace of Cups. She can be offering it, she can be accepting it. So I was just kind of listening to the children. They want me to point out that she's a child. So it's something to do with childhood. I do think it's your childhood. Something that happened where some kind of emotional, something new emotionally, right? That sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm explaining this properly. So where the Ace of Cups is like the offer, the Page of Cups is someone who starts to process it, starts to learn about it. This is like you, at some stage in your early development, learning about what love is, learning about what friendship is. And I think something happened that really knocked you over. You can see this wave coming in. So you can see how she's really happy. She's got this little fish in a cup. It could be a pet fish. It could be something as simple as a pet fish. Some kind of pet that you had in childhood. And being really happy with it bringing you a lot of joy, having this new bond with this thing, and it's like having a lot of love for it, and experiencing like really sort of processing what love is and what love means to you, and what it is to care for something and to have something care about you. But something happened. I do feel like whatever this was, it either ended, or like if it was a pet, it passed away, and the wave of emotion that hit you was so overwhelming that it really kind of emotionally destabilized you, right? And so this is telling me that time has passed. The Seven of Pentacles is about time has passed. You putting work in onto something regarding this, working on some aspect of yourself, and the work that you've done has paid off, right? And now you're able to have this clarity. The sun is the happiest card in the deck, right? The sun is like extreme happiness, like everything's going my way. but it's also a card about clarity, about seeing the light, about healing. So yeah, this process has healed you. It's shining the light onto a situation. Notice again that it's a child looking back. So it's like you were a child, you grew up, time passed, but you were able to reconnect with this childhood energy. It may be that you had a child or grandchildren, or there's just children around you that have reminded you of the way you were as a child. But it's extreme happiness, extreme healing. Yeah, that looks like a brilliant process. Again, it's this process for you of healing, healing something that hurt you in the past, that you didn't look at, you closed away. Okay, so can you tell me what's going on in the current action space, please? Oh, there you go. Did you see how it flipped and hid? So this is something, it's something that's hidden from you or that you're trying to hide, but it's success. It's the success card and it's the spotlight card. Okay, this is also being in the sun, being in the spotlight. You may find yourself in the spotlight. You may find yourself the center of attention for something. You don't really like it. I can see you both, like both these cards. He's on a horse. He's kind of turning away, turning back, right? I feel like the spotlight makes you uncomfortable. But people want to celebrate something that you've done. They want to celebrate some kind of success. Or you just want to celebrate something. I'll pull a clarifier on that in a second. So what's going on in your future action space? Two of Wands in the upright. Now, where did we have the Two of Wands? Back here. I feel like this is a different choice. This was a choice that that you made regarding some sort of healing from your past. This is a new choice. You can see that he has a globe, right? And you've got the World card. Okay, so this is a new cycle. You may be thinking about traveling. I also noticed that he's got a cat with him. So they're giving me a very, very specific message that might only be for one of you, but it's like you have a pet cat or some kind of relationship with where you've got a responsibility for someone or something, but you want to travel. You want to perhaps travel for work, perhaps go on a holiday, and you're worried about who's going to care for this cat or this person. Okay, so you're choosing. You're like, I know I need to move over here. I know I need to travel. I know I need to. Maybe some of you have to actually travel to a different, not world, a different country, and it's like, but I want to take my cat with me. So that's for some of you, this choice that you have to make regarding some kind of pet, where I feel like, especially if you've healed, because if you lost a pet over here and you've healed and like you've got this emotional bond with this animal, it's like, but I can't leave them again. I can't have that pain again. So that's a specific message. So that's not going to be for everybody. If that's for you, hi, I just read for you personally in a general reading. Look at you. Yeah, you can see that ship as well there. So I think what this is telling me is you've got some kind of decision, some kind of choice that you're kind of either trying to balance out, trying to find like, how are you going to make this work? How are you going to have both of these things, right? But perhaps there's some red tape. Oh, we've seen the red tape as well. Yeah, so some of you may want to take your pet, travel with your pet, but there's some kind of red tape, like some kind of restriction, travel restriction. Yeah, some kind of red tape that's preventing what you want. Okay, you've also got this card as well, which is literally about moving away to calmer waters. Definitely some of you are like starting a new cycle in your life. Some of you, I think, are crossing water, whether that's to a different country or to just a place that's across water. Also, the symbolism of crossing water is water represents emotion, so you're crossing some kind of emotional barrier. If you're not physically traveling, you're crossing some kind of emotional barrier that needs to be crossed. I don't know, making a choice to move on to a new cycle in your life, but wanting to take some kind of relationship from your past with you. Okay, what needs to change, please? What needs to change for Scorpio? What needs to change for Scorpio, please? Let's get it on camera. They're like, get it on camera. Tower card's trying to peek out there, but it's not. It is trying to come out. Should we take it? Okay, I'm going to see if another card wants to come out, though. Any more cards, please, for Scorpio about what needs to change for Scorpio? That flipped and went back in. I don't take them from this deck because the cards are double-sided, so I only take them if they actually come out. There we go. Yeah, definite choice you're trying to make here. Regarding a tower moment. Oh my goodness, look at that. I can't believe that. Like, look at the two cards that have come out, and they've both got those like sphinxes on. Like, I don't know if you saw when I was shuffling. I've not picked up the whole deck here, but like, I haven't seen those. I mean, I'm not that familiar with the deck, but of the cards I've seen, I've never seen those sphinxes before. I haven't seen these two cards before. They're not on every card. And then the two cards, so that is so significant. Is there there may be some kind of something to do with Egypt here for you? I don't know. Okay, so the tower moment. The Tower card is a card about a sudden realization, news coming in, some kind of shocking event, but it's something that comes in, and it is a bit of a shock. You know, it really, really shakes your foundations up. It makes this big change in your life. Okay, so and then I'll come back to that in a second once I talk about this Chariot card. So the Chariot card is a card about making a decision or bringing two different opposing forces together in order to move on. Okay, so it's almost like yin and yang energy, right? A choice, a decision, trying to harness two different energies and bring them together so that you can move forward. It's a card about success again. It's a card about recognition. You know, it's very similar kind of energy here about success, recognition, people watching you. It's a card about movement. There's quite a lot of meanings to the Chariot card. It can be about taking action. It can be about moving forward. It can be about literal travel. It symbolises a car. If we were talking about modern constructions, like it could be a car. I'm also seeing that he has the now I can't remember the name of it, but it's I'm pretty sure there's two versions of this. One has one snake and one has two snakes. One of them is the symbol of I think it's Mercury or Hermes, which is a symbol of communication. I did say you may be communicating up here, or it's the symbol of Asclepius, I think he's called, which is the god of healing. I'm not quite sure. And then like there's almost like that eagle feather with like justice. So I'm not sure which of those two staffs it is. People do mix them up all the time. So I was just noticing the constellation as well. So whichever way you take it, they're both relevant to you, because you did have something you wanted to communicate or take action on up here, and there was this business about healing over there. So yeah, very, very symbolic for you. Now, because I've discussed those, this card always has the two, sometimes it's two horses, sometimes it's two sphinxes, it can be other animals, but whatever it is, it always has two animals pulling the chariot, and it's always like a black one and a white one. That's always on the imagery of this card. The Tower card, this is the only card I've ever seen with those two symbols on it. Okay, so it's either this shocking moment of realization prompted you to take action on something. That's how I'm reading it. Or you either moved towards this tower moment, you went to help someone who needed help, right? You traveled to them to help them. It's almost like you drove your chariot there and now these are resting. Or you fled a situation because of something shocking that happened. You fled something. It could have been leaving a home, sort of getting in your car and driving away, right? Or taking animals with you, or this is what needs to change. You may need to leave somewhere, leave a situation. So what is the change? Oh my goodness, so this might be coming in for you. Yeah, look at that. So it's like the change. Okay, the change is that the tower moment may be about to hit for you. There may be a realization. It may be dramatic, it may be sudden, it may feel like an emergency situation. You can see like they're diving out of the house and trying to, like, they're on fire, but they're going into this cold water, right, to soothe them. And again, you've got this dove. So there's a sense of like healing, about divine intervention, about being watched, and then fleeing the scene, right? You're like, I'm out of here. I'm going. I'm getting in my car and I'm going. And there's a cup here as well at his feet. So there's something about a relationship. You may have offered love and now you're like, no, I'm taking my love back and I'm leaving. For some of you, there's a 69 here, but it's the symbol of Pisces. You may be connecting with the Pisces. So this could have been something that happened in the past, or it could be something that's coming in for you. So if it's something that's coming in for you, this is kind of like prepare yourself, get ready, do the rest, do the healing, get yourself into a really good position, find that strength, right? Get the strength you're going to need to deal with whatever this Tower moment is. I don't want to scare you. Sometimes it's not as dramatic. Sometimes it's just like a light bulb moment, right? Like a moment of realization. It does look quite dramatic on these cards, and I'm not going to lie to you about what I'm seeing. I hope it's easy for you. I think if you do the healing work and you get into a position where you're strong, whatever life throws at you, you're going to be able to deal with it. I do see this as almost like you taking your strength back. You being like, I'm not part of this situation, you know, I'm out of here, kind of thing. Protecting yourself in that way. Or you're dashing towards it to offer help. Or what it might be, actually, do you know what it might be for some of you? There may be someone in your life or a certain situation, some kind of certain situations that's happened in your past already. Perhaps someone's asked you for help with something. It's like, come and help me. It's an emergency, come and help me. And you've rushed in to help, right? But this might be that the situation happens again. Perhaps somebody's not learnt the lesson, right? This situation happens again and you're like, I can't help you again. I can't help you this time. I'm turning my back on you this time. You know, it's like someone who keeps doing the same thing over and over again, keeps on asking for help, and you're like, that's the last time. You know, I told you last time it was the last time I was helping you. You've done it again. You've got to figure this out for yourself. And sometimes that's a lesson for people, you know. Sometimes a lesson for people is, you know, stop waiting for someone to come in and save you. If somebody keeps pulling you out of the mud, if you keep making the same mistake over and over again and expecting someone else to come in and clean up all your mess, then you're not learning, you're not having any kind of soul growth, right? You're going to grow as a person. You're going to learn your lessons if you deal with it by yourself. If you have to, and it's hard, right? It's hard. It's a hard lesson to learn. No one wants to go through that. No one wants to put someone they love through that. But it's, in the long term, that person's going to have that survival skill after that to, they're going to have the knowledge to like not do it again for a start. And they're also going to have the survival skill that they can do it on their own. Especially for like if this is a parent-child relationship and you're thinking, I keep bailing my child out, but I know that my time, you know, time is precious. I'm not going to be here forever. What happens when I'm gone? What happens to my child? Are they just going to keep making mistakes, but I'm not going to be around to bail them out? Yeah, for some of you that's the message. So it's quite a lot there. It's going to be different for everybody. Depends, you know, there's a lot of Scorpios are going to come to this reading over time. So there's going to be something in here for everybody. So just don't leave whatever doesn't resonate. They're showing me the star card. I haven't asked any questions, but they're showing me the star card. Wishes, following your hopes and dreams. What do I want to clarify? I think a lot of stuff is pretty clear here. I don't think I need to clarify a lot. Maybe let's clarify the Five of Pentacles in your current thoughts. Do you want me to tell me any more? Yeah, thank you. King of Cups. Oh, the poor baby crying outside. So whatever the situation was for you, where there was some kind of disappointment, something didn't work out, there was some kind of loss, it was something to do with the King of Cups. Now the King of Cups is in the upright. This could have been someone who helped you, who supported you, who offered you emotional assistance. It could be that there was someone in your life who was a King of Cups. It could be you that was the King of Cups. You know, it is water energy. It could be that a situation ended, which, like I said, opened a new door, which led you to a King of Cups. Now the King of Cups could be is somebody who is very, very emotionally supportive. They have a depth of emotions. They've got a lot of emotional understanding. Could be connecting with another water sign. They're really, really in tune with their emotions. They could also be a good communicator. You had that King of Swords up there, and I noticed that he's got a quill. So it could be someone who enjoys writing, who writes letters. They might write you love letters. It's somebody who's very, very wise, very knowing, because it's an owl, has a lot of knowledge. They may not be like academically, like traditionally academically clever, you know, like they may not have a degree, but they may have a lot of world experience. I feel a lot of world experience that's taught them a lot about their emotions. They've got a really good handle on their emotions at this point. Yeah, they're probably quite intuitive too with that moon there. Yeah, so you'll know who that is for you. Could be a love interest, could be just someone around you who's really very, very emotionally supportive, you know, there for them when you need them. And like I said, this could be a situation from the past, but you're thinking about it now. Right, they're telling me quite a lot about this Six of Wands. Seven of Cups. So you've got that choices card again here. Some kind of choice. A choice to be independent, a choice to be figuring out what makes you happy without needing anyone else. What makes you, how can you support yourself emotionally? And that doesn't mean you have to reject this King of Cups. It just means that you're going to be in a better position to offer, to accept this person's love if you are very, very emotionally stable yourself. If you know how to make yourself happy, you know, you're in a better position to make someone else happy. Eight of Swords, feeling very, very trapped mentally about something. Perhaps you want to leave a situation, but you don't know how to do it. You want to follow your own happiness. You want to be good on your own. Four of Cups in reverse. You may not have been... and yeah, the Three of Swords in the reverse as well with the Four of Cups. So you may have... Again, there may have been a situation in the past that really hurt you. That made you feel this is the heartbreak card, and this card is about not taking an offer of love or friendship. So people offering you support and you not taking it. With it being in the reverse, I feel like if there was a situation where you felt blocked before, where mentally there's a sense with it of being like this need to be independent, this need to be, there's, you know, so many cups here, so this is about emotions and thoughts of the Swords. A feeling where you're like, I really need to be emotionally independent, I need to heal myself, I need to be good on my own, I need to be able to, if I get into a situation that upsets me, I need to be able to kind of like self-soothe. I need my own coping mechanisms to deal with this. So if somebody was trying to, if you were in this healing stage and someone was trying to come in with an offer of love or friendship to you, and you were still hurting from a past situation, you may have been like, no, I can't take your offer right now, I'm trapped, I'm prevented from taking this offer by my own thoughts. I'm not ready. I need to be good on my own first. I need to figure things out first. But with these two cards being in the reverse, it's like that stage, that healing stage, which I see up here in your past, has passed. You went through the process, you did the healing, so you're coming out of that now, and being in a place where it's like, okay, I've got that inner healing now. I've passed this stage of like processing this hurt, so I'm coming to a stage now where I'm ready to accept this whatever this love, friendship, support is for you. You can open yourself back up again, not so scared of being hurt again, because you healed from the thing that hurt you in the past, right? So you don't have to block out that, you don't have to block out whatever this is for you anymore, because you know that if it fails, you've healed from it once, you've got the strength and the lessons to heal from it again. 10 of Wands, yeah, putting down your burdens. You've carried those burdens once before. You know how to put them down now. You've learned that spiritual lesson. Yeah, it's like, I know I'm good on my own. I know I'm good on my own now. I know I can turn my back on the past hurt. It doesn't have to mean that you reject relationships. It doesn't have to mean that you have to be single for the rest of your life. That's not what it's saying. It's saying that you're not going to be codependent. You're not going to be like needy, right? You're not going to be needy, needing this support, or you're not going to be closed off anymore. You're emotionally stable enough on your own that you can enter and leave relationships and continue to be emotionally stable. Whatever that is for you, whatever, however that presents itself, whether that's love, friendship, work relationships, any kind of relationships. Okay, what advice do you have, please? Just so you know, I've swapped decks again. I keep needing to go to different advice decks. I think they just want specific cards from specific decks or specific guidance. So we're using the Energy Oracle deck for you today. Can I get a card, please? The best advice you can give to people coming to this reading? Yeah, absolutely. Now, this doesn't mean you have to leave a relationship behind. It's more to do with them. Finding your independence. Appreciations on the bottom of the deck. I saw what this was. Walking away. Oh, it's in the reverse. Okay, interesting. I might read it in the upright and in the reverse, and you'll know which way around. You'll know your situation best. I think there's two groups of Scorpios coming to this reading, so you'll be one or the other. Some of you do need to walk away and from a relationship. Some of you don't. Okay, so we'll read it in the upright first. So if this applies to you and you're like, if you're like, I know what this is and I know I have to leave, then this is for you. If that's resonating, don't take it if it's not resonating. And obviously, if don't take my advice and my reading as like the be all and end all. Take what resonates for you, take what rings true, process it, work out how that fits in for you and whether this is the right advice for you. And do speak to family, friends, or other professional advisors before making any major life decisions. Don't make any major life decisions. On the clock, it was 1 hour, 11 minutes and 11 seconds. 1. Yeah, don't make any major life decisions based on this reading alone. Okay, you know your situation best. It's a general reading. It can't be for every single individual person. Walking away, letting go, moving on. This card shows someone walking away from an existing situation. She's closing the gate behind her and is walking away into a misty, unknown future. This card upright reveals that it could be time for you to make a similar decision. There may be something that you've finished with, perhaps a career goal, a relationship, or a long-term experience of any kind. I feel like it was whatever you were closed down from in the past. That's what you're walking away from. That a lot of you, that blockage, that's what you're leaving now. The familiarity of the situation may be enticing, but you're now ready to look at your options on the open road ahead. In reality, an important new beginning is at hand. This card also indicates that now would be a good time to let go of an old habit. That's for you that have been having something, overeating or drinking too much or smoking or whatever that kind of addiction was for you there, that coping mechanism. It's time to let go of an old habit, emotional pattern, or false belief. No matter how deeply ingrained a negative pattern may be, you now have the power to release it and move on to a freer, healthier way of thinking and relating to yourself and others. Whether it's in the inner or outer world, this card is telling you that you have the readiness and the resources to walk away from the old and move forwards now. That's really good advice, and I think it ties into a lot of the things we were talking about there. So for others of you, it's coming out in the reverse. So do take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You're going to have to use a little bit of that Seven of Cups energy where you have to decide what fits here and what doesn't, okay? And process whether or not this is good advice for you. Because it's going to be one way for some of you and the other way for others. Reversed. This card signals that you may have been feeling very stuck. This card is about being stuck. In some present situation or location. There may be a job or a relationship that no longer resonates with you, yet out of habit or perhaps fear, you allow yourself to stay when it might be healthier to consider walking away. Habit and familiarity are compelling forces, often causing people to ignore their intuition and even dishonor their genuine feelings. This is a time of honest investigation. Consider all of the factors in the present situation. Perhaps the timing isn't quite right, and there may be some purpose in staying a little while longer. Don't deceive yourself about your motivations, however. Fear-based decisions often don't work out in your highest interest. Don't make any decisions based on fear. You may also be stuck in a long-term personal habit or unhealthy pattern. Those of you who haven't done that healing work yet, be aware that you always have the option and the responsibility to let go of any thought or behaviour that no longer honours you. This ties in so well to the reading. Whenever you walk away from negativity, you always move towards a greater happiness. And there's an affirmation there for you as well. It is safe and comfortable for me to move on. I consider all my options and then take action on my own behalf. So that might be something you want to say to yourself a couple of times a day. You might want to chant it to yourself in the mirror a few times. Yeah, it's an affirmation for those of you who like to do things like that. So I'm just going to sort of open up the book and pause it. I just saw 1, 1, 4, and that's 4, 4, and it was 4, 1 a minute ago. So 1, 4, 4 they're good numbers, guys. So here you go. If you just want to pause the reading, maybe take a screenshot so you can keep that advice to hand. Reread it if you need to. Now, what I feel it's saying is that this is kind of like a timeline, and people are going to come to this reading, you know, in the future. They're going to kind of stumble across this reading. So hi, future people. When it finds you, it has messages for you. And you may be anywhere along this timeline, right? Okay, so I'm talking about this being the present, but people may come to this reading who are here, and people may come to this reading who are here. So I feel like if you're here, this is the advice for you. If you're over here, this is the advice for you. So you have to work out where you are on this timeline, and figure out what advice, what stage of this process you're in. So key messages: cut out anything. Focus on your health. Focus on protecting your body. Eating healthily, drinking lots and lots of water. That was a key message. Flush, because the water flushes out any toxins as well, right? Be careful that you're not abusing your body with substances of various kinds, that you're not indulging in negative behaviours that damage your body, because your body's back here was looking a little bit like it had been through the mill, and you needed to do some physical healing. And then you also had this business about emotional healing as well, about looking at a situation from the past that hurt you, doing some work on your inner self, allowing yourself to open that box, right? Open the bird cage, let yourself be free. Look how gorgeous she is. You know, which energy do you want to be in? Do you want to be in this energy? Do you want to be this person, or do you want to be that person? If I'm giving it to you bluntly, okay, if I'm really going to give you that tough love I was talking about, who do you want to be? Who do you feel like you are right now? Do you feel like you're here, or do you feel like you're here? Who do you want to be? Are you happy being, if you're this person, are you happy, or would you like to be this person? Right? You can be this person. There's nothing stopping you from being this person apart from your own learned behaviours, about the damage you do to your own body, about the choices you make. And I know it's hard. I know it's really, 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 really fucking hard, okay, because I've been there. You know, when you've got some sort of advice that you fall back on to cope, you know, when something's painful for you and you just really, really need to kind of like blur things out, you know, to release the stress, I know that you're going to fall back on certain substances, but you're not going to get here if you keep relying on the substances and abusing your body. Look at how similar these two women are as well. They've both got like this red hair. Some of you may have red hair. But it's more telling me that this is the same person, it's the same energy in this reading. So yeah, it's like, it's time, it's the wake-up call. I'm giving you the tower moment now, right? This is me saying, come on, guys, come on. This is you right now. This is you burning up your own bodies, not protecting yourself. If you look after yourself properly, if you cut out all the negative patterns of behaviours, if you really look after yourself, really love yourself, okay, you'll be surprised at how quickly you can become this Queen of Wands and sit in this energy and really, really like move on to be like, I've got the strength, the inner strength to take on the world, right? And I know you can do this. I know you can do this because I've done it. I've been here and moved to here. I've been through that process of being like, I'm shocked at how much better I feel, at how I'm so better at coping, right? I'm just going to, oh no, they're going. For me, it was alcohol. I was drinking too much alcohol. Not that I had not that I had a not that I was an alcoholic, but I definitely had an alcohol problem, right? I was drinking too much, and it takes its toll on your body. It stops you being able to absorb certain minerals. There's actually certain things, certain chemicals that you get from food that your brain really needs to be able to function at full capacity. By drinking, not excessively, but I was drinking most days. I was preventing my body from being able to absorb those certain minerals, which meant that my mental capacity wasn't as good as it could have been. I wasn't as able to cope. I wasn't as able to process certain things. And by cutting that out, being more healthy, exercising, eating better, and I'm not like, strict diet or anything, but I make healthy choices. Taking vitamins to replace any nutrients that I'm not getting enough of. Really, like, I've done this work, I've looked after my body, I'm doing yoga, and you get into such a better place sort of mentally, where you can process those things that drained you before, those things that stressed you out, those things that you couldn't cope with, because your brain's not running at full capacity. My video just cut out. It was like, stop talking, this is the longest video in the world. Yeah, just trust me, because I've done it, I've been there, I've been through it. I know how it feels to be there, and I know how hard it is to cut things out, and to get here. But you can do it. You can do it. If I've done it, you can do it, because I am the laziest, biggest procrastinator. I'm the biggest village idiot there is, right? And if I can do it, you can too. And it feels great. So do take care. I do hope you got something useful out of that reading. I'm doing some stretching now. I'm going to tidy my cards away, and I'm going to do some yoga, drink some water, because I feel like I've sweated out a river at this point with this humidity. Do take care. I do love you guys, and I want the best for you, and I hope that this has been helpful to you. Bye bye.